Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cardinal Sports Complex for CTN's coverage of boys high school lacrosse. Tonight, the Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids squad welcomes the team from Forest Lake. Joe Young and Howie Shapiro up above the action. And Howie, SLPCR has played very well against non-conference teams, 3-1 coming in, hoping to make it 4-1 against a team from Forest Lake that has just one victory on the season.
Yeah, one victory, and they don't do a lot of scoring. And then, so I think it's something that,
they're going to score very early as they feed down low and convert right away. Ethan Coleman in close, just 13 seconds into the contest.
Yeah, but you can't get much quicker than that. Really, offensively, SLPCR has been playing really well. Where they've had a tough time this season and been really working the last week and a half on is their defense. And you see there, they give up a quick goal, defense breakdown, and all of a sudden Forest Lake, who's struggling at times to score goals, gets an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I believe the feed was from Preston Waggy. Found Coleman alone on the doorstep, and he did not miss from there. Lamari Brown running back the other way for SLPCR. They'll set up shop on the right side. Toby Tranby, team's leading scorer. They'll settle things, and they will be patient looking for the good opportunities.
That was Coleman's third goal on the season. But just away on the road, a nice way to start for Forest Lake as they're able to get an early lead.
Tried to find Brody Herzog cutting through the middle, and that was broken up. SLPCR. Some harsh treatment of Jamison Perfetti. Trying to force a turnover. Instead, the whistle and the restart for Forest Lake. I do not have a 47 on my roster, so welcome to the ball game, Xavier Bonifacius. Do you have a 47 on yours?
On which on Forest Lake?
On Forest Lake, yes.
I will tell you in one moment. I do not. I do not.
Very, very early timeout.
Well, sometimes you don't like the flow of something and might as well talk about it early on so you can correct it early on.
Question about Ryan Capon's cross, perhaps. Refs having a second look at it during this timeout.
Yeah, you have to be so precise, obviously, and the refs will check your cross for sure.
And pocket too deep. Allows for very easy cradling, gives a distinct advantage.
Well, you know, and it really upsets the officials. They get very cross at you. So.
Apparently it checked out.
Yep.
They just flip it back to Capon, and he will be the one to take up the possession here on the near side, just into Coon Rapids Spring Lake Park side of midfield. Capon will run down the left side. Repelled at least momentarily by Jolkowski, whacking away with the long stick. Brown trying to deny entry on the far side for Austin Smith. Good step up there for Jolkowski. That draws the whistle against Forest Lake.
Well, that's what the Catbirds have been wanting to do, is just play strong defense, step up, take that ball away, and then get it to your offense.
Brown gets it into their end. Herzog down low. Tranby denied in close. Tommy Cubis took that one right in the chest. Herzog recovers. Weaves his way out. Another save in close for Cubis.
Yeah, a couple of huge saves.
And Cubis comes out and gets the clear, but Lamar Brown stole it. His shot sent skyward by Hunter Longen. SLPCR able to recover, slow it down a bit. Jack Person has been a nice addition to the team, just an 8th grader.
Yeah. Youngsters really contributed mightily.
Right off the bench, Brock Lewick threatens and then backs away. Person playing catch on that left side with Caden Conkler. Conkler looking for room. Longen able to keep him at bay. Poke at him with the long stick again. Person will bring it back up top. And Brock Lewick.
And so far, the Ranger defense doing a nice job of really not allowing anything in the middle. But got to give your goaltender credit. He's made a couple of nice saves to keep it scoreless for their squad.
Conkler isolated up top, finds his way around a defender, leaves it off. Tranby rather bobbled it a little bit. Got it down low. The swing around shot is good for Brock Lewick. We're even at 1 apiece.
Yeah, again, just nice job working your offense in front of the net. And Lewick did a really nice job of just getting it past the keeper. The first goal of the season for Brock. Looks like it.
Goaltender for the SLPCR hockey squad.
Yep.
His older brother was a pretty impressive hockey and lacrosse player for Spring Lake Park. So Brown got the penalty for the hit, sent Perfetti to the turf. Perfetti gets up and cross-checks him. Whistle's already blown. He doesn't get a whistle, and
that's the way you retaliate without it being called.
It's most of the time you think it's the retaliation that gets called, not in this case. Waggy not finding room around Brown. They will pass it into the middle. It doesn't connect with Capon. Brown had to jump up, but a nice reception on the pass, and they bring it back to Scramstead. Now long pass ahead for Smolik. Smolich all the way to the front. Tranby left side, back door. Herzog bounces and scores. Sorry, that was Conkler on the back door, bouncing and scoring.
Really impressive. This was the setup. Great passing, and he's all alone on that far side of the net. He's able to put it in.
Couple of nice setups for Toby Tranby early on. Talked about it. He's the team's leading goal scorer by far.
Yep.
He leads in points as well. Adds a couple of dimes early on in this first quarter.
Conkler that's his 19th goal of the season, and really, Brody Herzog not too far behind in terms of points.
On the draw, good reaction. Okay, you got a 22 for Coon Rapids Spring Lake Park. I don't have a 22.
I do not.
Xavier Bonifacius played for both teams.
His cousin.
Oh, we've got flags flying and significant contact on the far side. We might see our first actual penalty.
Yep.
Advantage SLPCR. Hunter Longen in the naughty box.
Is that the official term for it? 2 minutes in the naughty box. It's not a sin bin.
Question.
It's not a sin bin.
Well, it's not even really a penalty box. It's an area designated to be the place for timeout.
It's the bad boy square.
Timeout square?
A timeout? No, it can't be timeout. Oh, he can go in a timeout, I suppose.
Yeah, that's
when they put him in the corner.
You would think. Chance with the extra body out there. Another save in tight for Cubas.
Catbirds have done a really nice job here early on of just applying the pressure down in the Forest Lake end. Oh, there's a.
Well, it is a contact sport.
You
can do so much, but there's some things you just can't get away with. Person up top, Lewick left side for Tranby is shot
save.
Down low, and Cubis keeps it.
That's up and over the
fence.
fence.
A one-goal game.
Somebody go get that ball and bring it back to the concession stand. Bag of peanuts.
Tranby will take the shot. Finds the top corner. 3-1 home team.
Yeah, nice
6:21 to go in the first quarter.
Nice goal. And that's goal number 33 on the season for Toby.
Not quite midway through this first quarter, and seen a lot of action to our right, exactly what the home team wanted. They have been playing better. Still 0 for 5 in the conference, but their last couple of conference games, two goal losses to both Blaine and Champlain Park.
Yeah, those are frustrating because you want to get those conference wins quite obviously.
Brown has been the early workhorse.
Nice move.
As far as carrying it, getting it down into the attacking third. Tranby runs the offense clearly low on that right side.
You know, outside of that early pressure by Forest Lake, they've done nothing offensively.
Tranby on the right side. Looking for a lane to shoot through. Will go down low and then get it right back from Person. That shot, another save by Cubis. Keeping his team in this. Whips that one past Tranby and ends up out of bounds, and it'll be SLPCR with the ball. The flag flew.
Yeah,
no whistles are blowing. And chance down low. Herzog scores.
They're way.
Yeah, so it must have been against Forest Lake, and because they scored, it's waved off. Like a delayed penalty in hockey. And you know what? Another apple for Toby Tranby. Now goal and 3 assists. His team up 4-1. Threatening to blow it open here very, very early. And after Forest Lake, as you talked about, came out, scored just 13 seconds into the contest. It's been pretty much all SLPCR since that time. Haven't been able to win many draws. Mason Johnson able to secure this one and get him back into the offensive end. Anderson sets up on the left side. Ryan Capon working way up high. And now Ethan Elvin.
Again, this Forest Lake just trying to get something offensively generated. And this is where this week and a half of a lot of practice on the defensive end for the Catbirds will come into play.
Well, and they scored that first goal, again, 13 seconds in. They were essentially in transition. This is about the first time we've seen them work it around in the offensive end, and SLPCR doing a nice job of keeping them way outside, not giving up the middle of the field. Capon attacking from the right side. Kept at bay, his pass off the mark, and that's out of bounds. A turnover to SLPCR.
Yeah, I'm sure those are the things that frustrate Coach Fleming and Forest Lake. That just the fact that they looked like they had a little something going, working their offense a little bit, and then they just throw it away.
Mellum, a nice defensive play to keep his man forced outside and maybe pushing that.
There's another flag.
Offsides is the word I'm getting, is the flag. Had one outside the box that should not have been. Tranby into the middle of what a grab by Herzog. Spins down, hits the turf, gets back up and scores. What a play by Brody Herzog.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you're looking at really the bulk of the scoring for this Kepler team comes from Conkler, Herzog, and Tranby, and they do a really nice job together of running the offense.
Well, and again, Tranby, I'm going to give him another assist.
Yep.
So 1 and 4. But what a great grab. I mean, Brody Herzog, he's heart over height kind of guy.
Yep.
I'm a big fan. But he had to reach way up to secure that pass. Then got knocked to the turf. Spun around, got back up, kept it in his cross the whole time, shot around the defender, and put it home for his second of the game. And that one might get you a penalty. Riker Packey with a little dance against his opposite number off the face-off. That shot is way high for Preston Waggy. But Forest Lake along the back line will maintain possession.
Yeah, that's the key. Just keep somebody back there to make sure if a shot like that goes over, you continue to retain possession.
Capon with Brown encroaching, gets it across for Ethan Elvin. Landon Dreisig can't find any room left side. Some help down low with Ethan Coleman. Back for Dreisig. Back behind for Coleman. Out of his reach. Another turnover by Forest Lake.
Yeah, again, you try and get a little something going in the offensive end and you turn it over. We've seen a couple of trips like that for Forest Lake.
Passing an important piece.
Yes.
To be certain.
That is no question.
Lamari Brown starts his run. Tried to pass it back and didn't get enough on it. Able to keep the Rangers off of it, give his teammate an opportunity to scoop it up. Quist gets it down to Tranby in the corner. Nice move by Conkler, but bounced it right over the top of the crossbar, and person along that back line to make sure they keep possession. Just over a minute to go in the opening quarter. Person thought about the shot, goes back down to Herzog. Tranby now behind the net. Up top, Conkler fires, and that one's well wide and stuck in the fence, the other side of the track there.
But I mean, I love the way they're running their offense. So their passing is, as you talked about, is important, but their passing is really, really good in this one for sure. They do a nice job of working it around and finding that opening.
Tranby tried to spin back, ends up on the turf, continues to battle for it. Tranby will start from the left side, up top for Lamari Brown. Down to 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Brown down low, behind for Person. Brown up top, and now Conkler. Down to the final 5. Caden Conkler trying to find room. Passes behind. Pass back out front. Broken up by the keeper Cubis, and that is how the first quarter will end. SLPCR 5 unanswered. They lead 5-1. After 1, you're watching boys lacrosse on CTN. Back at Coon Rapids High School, CTN coverage of boys high school lacrosse. Good first quarter for the home team after giving up a very early goal to Forest Lake. They scored 5 unanswered and really controlled everything. Scramstead with a save from the shot by Mason Johnson right off the draw, and he'll start to break out himself.
Well, that's how they scored that first goal at Forest Lake, right off the draw.
A little flip behind the back pass by Jack Smolik. Like it. Person trying to find a way around the corner. Kept at bay by Hunter Longen. Into the middle. Tranby can't keep control. Scooped up by Herzog. He can't keep it in his stick to get a shot off. And it's scooped up by Cubis. Hagman got around Smolich and then stopped up. Smolich a little poke with the long stick. Austin Smith slowing things down now for Ryan Capon. And again, not a lot of extended possessions for Forest Lake.
No, not at all.
And the couple they had in the first quarter ended on bad passes.
Yeah, and they had
very few that they had 2 legitimate shot attempts in the same possession.
Yeah, really just on that first opening tip and then the tip of the second quarter.
Smolich running away from a bunch of Rangers. Had his stick knocked out of his hands. It's scooped up, though, by Person. Person surrounded by maroon jerseys as well. Finally gets some help from Blake Mellum. Ahead is shot and a goal for Herzog, his third.
And again, just a really nice pass to get it to him. Again, you look at the defenders playing up a little bit, which leaves your offense in a better situation. You saw Herzog get really not a lot of trouble down there and able to score a quick goal. I think it's 6-1.
He's got the last 3 in the game. Tranby, Lewick, and Conkler 1 each. Lone goal from Forest Lake, scored by Ethan Coleman just 13 seconds into the contest. Good swoop on the run by Logan. He's got speed down the right side. Backing away, good pressure applied by Riker Packey. Not going to give up that corner. He plays it down behind for Landon Dreisig. Ethan Elvin will bring it back up top and reset. Coleman trying to come from behind the net, pressured by Aiden Anderson, forced way outside. And again, that has been the norm for the Rangers when they have had possession. The attacking third just kept very wide, not really able to threaten the middle of the field, get good scoring looks, and eventually forced into a bad pass. Trying to tip that trend here. Austin Smith backing away from Lamari Brown. Elvin up top gives it right on back to Smith, and he's forced further and further away from the net by Lamari Brown. Brown hasn't really been in the offensive end like shooting or having the good scoring chances, but he has been critical to the SLPCR team so far in lugging the ball. Once they do force that turnover, he's the guy. They get it from one end of the field to the other.
Well, he has speed. He has moves as well. We've seen that a little bit here tonight, and everybody contributes in their own way, and certainly that's a nice job by him to be able to contribute that way.
He has defended very well so far as well, as they all have as a team, and that one was blocked. I think it was Josiah Robb that got a piece of that and just sent the shot well wide, ends up out of play, and it is going to be Forest Lake's ball. And they'll get another chance to set up.
Well, again, Forest Lake just needs a goal. They need to try and cut into this lead and stop the bleeding a little bit here. I mean, still plenty of match left. However, they want to try and get some offensive flow going.
Taking their time, looking for a good opportunity. Pick up at the top of the zone. The bounce shot tracked well by Scramstead. And who does he give it to? Lamari Brown. And look at the Jets. Right down low, turning and scoring is Herzog. He's got 4.
Well, I tell you, and again, their transition game from defense to offense is really spot on tonight. And I think that. I think Coach needs to understand and needs to love the fact that their defense is playing pretty well, even though this is a 1-8 team and they're not doing much offensively, but they're not giving up outside that first goal. They're not giving up anything easy for sure.
Yeah, Forest Lake not getting sniffs in the middle of the field at all. Spending all of their offensive zone time on the perimeter. Just about midway through this second quarter now. Forest Lake able to win the draw. Johnson gets it back, and we'll get it into the offensive end. Gives it up to Smith, who sets up on offense. And again, we just saw it. They were in the offensive end, passed it around, had one shot attempt that was blocked and ended up going wide, then forced into a turnover. Or no, second was the bounce pass or the bounce shot that Scramstead tracked well. And then off of that save by Scramstead to Brown, runs 80 yards, passes to Herzog, who turns and scores.
Yep.
I mean, that quickly after they had been in the offensive zone for 90 seconds or 2 minutes or more even.
Yeah, I mean, transition has been really, really good for the Catbirds tonight. And it's evidence fact that they're up 7-1.
Person with a shot from the near side. Deflected away by Cubis, but SLPCR manning that back line. Maintain possession. Now Tranby on the right side. Bring up top. Change places with Brock Lewick. Dropped it as he went to attack. Taken away and running the other way is Capon. Hagman wanted someone in the middle, no one there, just white jerseys. And again, well marked anytime they try and get in the middle. And that a pass that got away, and immediately the other way goes Daniel Quist. Quist takes a hard shot from behind. That'll draw a flag.
Yeah.
And a couple of minutes, or a minute or so in the naughty box. What was it?
I like
the bad boy square.
The bad boy square or the naughty box. I kind of like the naughty box.
Just go take a knee.
Yep.
4:31 to go. Second quarter.
Take a timeout way over there.
Tranby, backdoor person up top for Conkler. Another unrostered player for the home team.
Yeah, I just got these sent to me from school yesterday.
Well, I got this one at the gate.
Yeah,
when
it's
I walked
the same
in.
one. It's the same one that was sent to me yesterday.
See? 41 with a shot that misses wide. Tranby patrolling the back line will maintain possession. And the SLPCR defenders and the attackers for Forest Lake have spent a lot of time just leaning on their sticks and watching from the opposite end tonight. Work it around. The shot by Tranby didn't make it through all the traffic. Still loose. Swept toward the net. Scooped up by Cubis. But a whistle blew before that, and SLPCR will maintain possession.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a scrum. Somebody got called.
Person tried to come out from behind the net and just squeeze it over the shoulder, and unsuccessful. Forest Lake gets the possession. Langen, Longen, sorry. He'll take the shot.
It was a long one.
Scramstead able to make the save.
And he did. Scramstead's come up a couple of times tonight with some nice saves.
Tranby into the middle. Herzog is laid out by the keeper, Cubis. Tired of seeing number one get the ball and score in close.
A lot of laundry on the field. A little less than 3 minutes remaining in this opening half.
Huh. Lacrosse goalies have to serve their own penalties.
Wow. You go to the bad boy box. But I'm the goalie.
They are able to send a replacement goalie in. Tyler Mim, just a freshman,
Oh, they're going to give him a
pressed into action. Now see what?
hard over height on that young man as well.
So if a goalie gets a penalty, they are required to serve the penalty themselves, but the team is allowed to give their backup keeper warm-up shots to get them ready.
They call it timeout, though. They might have called the timeout in order to do that. Yeah.
Then it seems okay.
Yeah.
Because that's part of it that seems counterproductive. You might as well just have someone else serve the penalty.
Exactly.
You got to keep goalies, you got to hold them accountable, though. Can be an unscrupulous lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're a different breed, goalies. Different mindset, as you know.
I do.
Goalies and catchers.
Yes. And if they play both, those question marks are multiplied.
And you would know that as well.
I would. I still have questions.
But you have a fine young man.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
You really do.
I enjoy him. I think I'll keep him. Now that he's old and moved on.
That he's out of the house.
And he's still a catcher. I don't know that he's still a goalie, really. He hasn't.
He hasn't played in the.
He has not put the skates on in quite a while, a couple years. I think maybe he did once last year. And he came and played Old Man League with me a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it. Since graduating high school 4 years ago, I think he's put the pads on 2, maybe 3 times. But he'll be catching for the Redbirds by the end of this month.
Good. Very cool.
So after a timeout, Tyler Mim all warmed up. Tommy Cubas, who realistically has kept this from being a double-digit lead already for SLPCR. He has played fantastically.
He has.
And again, maybe a little frustration. He saw number 1 get the ball again just outside the circle and took the defensive nature of his position a little too seriously. Defense trying to step up for Forest Lake, protect their freshman goaltender. But a shot from a ways out finds the twine for Toby Tranby, his second.
He whistled that shot past the goaltender. Makes it 8-1. 2:31 remaining in the half.
The 2 number 7s had some good battles in the faceoff circle. Yeah. Looks like Brody Herzog's going to line up there this time against Johnson for SLPCR. Scooping it up was Longen. It was bumped out of his stick. Recovered by Herzog. Gets it ahead for Tranby. Tranby dancing away from Johnson. Person near side will take the shot. Couldn't get it past the defender. Kicked at, now scooped up by Longen. Oh, now it's Longen. They're all Longen.
Longen the tooth.
Levi Hagman. None of them are that.
That's true. That's me. I was speaking of me.
Hagman all the way along the back line, really pressured hard by Smolich. And now Asher Osi picks up. They'll just trade off pressuring. Double teaming him along that back line. Hagman really running for his life.
But they talked about the fact that they really need to get better at defense, and granted, it's this isn't a powerhouse team in Forest Lake. However, they're doing a good job of keeping balls out of the net. And shots away, shots on goal are limited for the Rangers here so far.
Under a minute to go in the first half. Austin Smith on the near side for Forest Lake will work things back up top. And again, the top of their box, a long way from the net for Ryan Capon. Left side, Dreisig can't find any room. We'll give it back up to Capon. Capon and Smith playing some catch up top. And a timeout with 22.2 to go in quarter number 2.
Yeah, Forest Lake would love to come away with a goal here before the end of the half. They just need something good to go their way. But they really haven't had that opportunity so far tonight.
Yeah, long possessions that have amounted to not great scoring chances. And at the other end, quick strike responses for the SLPCR squad that have been quite successful, now up 8-1. Toby Tranby has been in on just about every goal tonight for
he really
SLPCR.
has.
I think he's now got 2 goals and I think 4 assists, so 6 of the 8. That's right. May even be 5, maybe 7 of the 8 goals.
He's been a force, so there's no question about that.
Brody Herzog has had a nice start. We talked about Lamari Brown being the transporter from one end to the other. He got the assist on the second goal of this second quarter, which was about as quick a strike as you can get in transition after a long and fruitless possession for Forest Lake. It went from Scramstead on the save, gets it to Brown, runs downfield. Herzog turns and scores. Tommy Cubis back in the net for Forest Lake after serving his penalty and ceding his spot in the circle to Tyler Mim for a couple of minutes. Forest Lake still in possession out of the timeout, 22.2 to go in the second quarter. Long run, low shot, and a goal for Austin Smith.
Yeah, again, that's huge for them. I mean, granted, still a ways to go, down by 6. However, they wanted something good to happen before the break, and we've got about 12 and a half seconds left before that happens.
Yeah, just right off of the whistle out of that timeout. Ran to a good shooting spot. Beat the keeper low. And the Rangers are going to bookend the scoring here in the first half. 1 goal, 13 seconds in. 1 with 12 seconds left. Unfortunately, outscored 8-0 in between those two. Unfortunately for them, that is, obviously. Shot would have beaten the buzzer from Hagman, but Scramstead able to make the save and throw it all the way downfield, and there is the buzzer. And we will go to the half with SLPCR on top 8-2 over Forest Lake. You're watching Boys High School Lacrosse on CTN. Back at the Cardinal Sports Complex, halftime just concluding here between the SLPCR squad and the Forest Lake Rangers. Joe Young, Howie Shapiro up above the action, and a pretty impressive half for the home team.
Yeah, really controlled by the Catbirds. They did a really nice job. A couple of goals, one goal early in that opening quarter, and then one goal late in quarter number 2 for Forest Lake. Otherwise, it's been all SLPCR, and they've just controlled it with really good offense and time possession down in the Ranger end.
Yeah, scored 13 seconds in, scored with 12 and a half seconds left in that first half. Everything in between was SLPCR, 8 unanswered goals.
Now, Forest Lake wants to come out and score the first goal of this third quarter.
Well, they have done a nice job in the faceoff circle, getting the possession. When they've been most effective is when they have tried to attack in transition. When they have set up on offense, they have spent a lot of time on the perimeter, not getting good looks at the goal. Those shots from a long ways away, Tommy Scramstead is up to the challenge, and we've seen them turn it over a lot of times after several minutes of possession time without a good scoring opportunity. Bobbled but recollected by Ryan Capon. They work it around. Good stick. Nearly got the steal. Instead, Smith recovers and scores his second. He had the late goal for Forest Lake. He's now got 2 in a row. And the Rangers back within 5.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of hope here now. They've been able to get a couple goals in a row and cut into this lead by the Catbirds. We'll see how the Catbirds react to that, giving up that late goal in the first half, and now a relatively early goal here in the second.
Jolkowski nearly had the steal, and going for that steal got him enough out of position. It was a good recovery by Austin Smith, and he just took it right to the net. Scores his second of the game. Still a healthy lead for the home team. Up 8-3. Back to the faceoff circle where Mason Johnson has had some success. He wins another one and gets the Rangers right back into the offensive end. Smith with time to just let the pieces get into the right places.
Well, and again, they just want to get some flow. If they can score again here, give them a lot of confidence.
Smith trying to spin his way into the middle on his own, repelled by a group of white jerseys. He'll give it up to Ethan Elvin, and they'll work the right side for Levi Hagman. Smolich pressuring Hagman all the way along the back end line. Hagman will pass out front. That's off target. Scooped up by Ethan Coleman. Back to Smith up top. Elvin turns back. Smith shoots and scores. He's got 3.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the Rangers have a little life. They get 8-4 now. Got your defense and your goalie talking things out here for the Catbirds after giving up a couple of goals.
Another face-off win for Forest Lake. Preston Waggy. Tied up, coughs it up. Whistle sounds, SLPCR's favor. Herzog will send it back. And Lamari Brown showing
high
off the
stepping.
speed. The transporter gets him into the offensive zone and gets him set up.
You got a new nickname for him.
Pass into the middle didn't click with Herzog. It's tracked down by Tranby. Near side may have gone off the post after the deflection.
I think it may have.
Brown waits for a double pick to get set up. Switches spots with Conkler and now Quist. Tranby fires, misses high and wide, but only SLPCR is down there, so they will maintain that possession.
Yeah, he missed everything. Definitely wide left.
Trying to get a screen. Tommy
Yep.
Cubis has looked good when he can see the ball and the shot coming. He's come up with a number of really big saves. Obviously, his team's still trailing by an 8-4 score, but most of those 8 he really had no chance on.
Right. I agree.
Pass too tall for Tranby. That's going to have enough to get out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover back to Forest Lake. And the Rangers threatening to run away with a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, they have a little spark here and, climbed right back into this one.
Cubis will lead the charge, vacating his net to get him set up on offense. Smith down low. That pass didn't click. Rangers able to recover, though. Dreisig trying to force it out. Got it right back. And now gets it up top for Ryan Capon. He'll roll it over for Ethan Elvin, who just got onto the field. Picked up defensively by Aiden Anderson. Dishes off, down low. Spinning with it is Hagman. Shot corralled by Scramstead. Pass was too tall for Smolich. Recovered by the Rangers. Smith moves it right side and now down low for Hagman. Hagman spinning away from Brown. Back up top. It eludes the cross of Capon. Capon pressured, just sweeps it back to Smith where he could scoop it. Smolich with him step for step.
Using that long stick, trying to disturb him.
Now here's Capon. Left side for Landon Dreisig. He can't find room. Back up top to Capon. More than midway through this third quarter. And Forest Lake has controlled almost in its entirety.
They have, and that's what they needed to do. Some nice adjustments at the break, and it's paid off.
Brown forces Levi Hagman out the end line. Gets the turnover for the home team. I think that was a little overly dramatic on Brown's part. The flip over after he got knocked down by Hagman. But he'll get to the bench and get a breather as Person gets it into the offensive end. Able to maintain control under high pressure. Pretty impressive for the 8th grader. SLPCR sets up on offense. Tranby able to recover. Top for Quist. Now Tranby on the left side. Down low. Can't be controlled by Person, and the SLPCR squad turns it over again. Coming up empty on their few possessions so far here in this third quarter.
Very different than that first half.
And then an errant pass by the Rangers gives it right back. And a good possession here could help SLPCR breathe a little bit of relief.
Agree.
Tranby will start the possession. Roll it across for Conkler, and now Person. Looking for, I think it was Lewick crashing down the middle, but the pass went awry. Back the other way comes Tyler Moberg. He has the ball knocked off his stick. And SLPCR the other way. Josiah Robb will back away, find himself some room, pass across. Person couldn't collect, but a couple of them there. And Conkler will scoop it up. Get the offense set. Under 4 minutes remaining in quarter number 3.
Yeah, again, we had some early scoring by Forest Lake, but nothing since. And a goal here from the Catbirds would be really big.
Tranby scared away from the slot. Good stick there by Hunter Longen. Work it around for Person on the left side. Tranby up top. Quick shot. Bounced and saved by Cubis. Recovered by Herzog behind. For Person. Person will fire. Another save by Cubis. And he will collect and hold in the circle. Allow his guys to get downfield a bit.
Yeah, he's been keeping him in this game for sure.
Couple of passes. Second one doesn't click. Brock Lewick recovers for SLPCR. And right back on the attack. Person to Herzog in the middle. Cubis is stopping close. Herzog continues to battle for the rebound. Cubis controls, escapes, and apparently covered the ball. And SLPCR gets another possession. Tranby dancing up top, not going to find a lot of room. I'm pretty sure part of their adjustments at the half was, let's make sure we mark 19 pretty tightly. What a goal.
Wow.
From Brody Herzog. He may have bounced that off of Cubis as Cubis was coming over. He was
I think he
a
did.
near impossible angle. But a big goal as that pushes the lead back to 5 with just 2:21 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that was huge for the Catbirds because the Forest Lake had all the momentum. They took a little bit away from them at that point, dug them in a little bit more of a hole down by 5.
For Herzog, his fifth, sorry. Don't want to short him.
No.
He's already short enough. Boom, boom.
Joe will be performing at the Holiday Inn in Andover this weekend. Come down and see him.
In the Velvet Room.
They renamed it.
Brown through traffic looking for Herzog. He couldn't get to it. And that'll be an errant pass, a turnover to Forest Lake. Ethan Taylor gives it over to Moberg. Runs it right side for Forest Lake. That, by the way, was the longest we've gone without a goal so far tonight. 7 minutes from 9:24 remaining in this third quarter when Forest Lake cut it to 8-4. And now inside, Levi Hagman answers relatively quickly.
Yeah, and they get that get it back down to 4-goal lead for the Catbirds. And again, getting goals late in quarters, either early in quarter or late last couple quarters. Late goal, 12 and a half seconds left in that second quarter, and now a little over a minute left here in the third.
Another face-off win for Forest Lake. Preston Waggy will run in on the attack. Try and set up left side. Coleman back behind the goal line extended. Bring it back near side for Ethan Taylor. He missed it, and they turned it over under a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that from Forest Lake. Some turnovers down in the Catbird end.
Scramstead pressured. Will give it over to Smolich, and he's got some room. Mellum. Head left side. Conkler will fake. A little shimmy, a little shake. Gets around, gets out front, into the middle, had it knocked out of his stick. He's able to scoop it back up. Toby Tranby. Under 15 to go. Brown into the middle. Herzog didn't get a lot on it, and then he took a hard hit. SLPCR recovers. High pass. Conkler went up for it. Whistle blows with 0.8 of a second left. Now restart after the whistle and just let the buzzer sound. We'll go to the fourth quarter. SLPCR 9, Forest Lake 5. You're watching boys high school lacrosse on CTN. Back at the Cardinal Sports Complex, just about ready to get the fourth quarter underway. Forest Lake showing signs of life in the third quarter, outscored the home team 3-1. Got themselves right back in this contest and really controlled the ball the majority of that 12-minute period.
Yeah, I mean, the Cappers just looking to carry that momentum they had in that first half, but haven't been able to put weren't able to put anything together other than the one goal in the third quarter.
And that one came pretty late.
Yep.
Tranby starts him off early. Gets his third, just 18 seconds in.
So I think this is 5 games in a row for the Catbirds of scoring double-digit goals. So that's a sign. They didn't win them all, obviously, but but again, your offense is playing pretty well.
Yeah, those last couple those losses to Blaine and Champlain Park, like 14-12 and 15-13. Those show that they were playing right with those conference teams, just not able to quite get over the hump. A win here will certainly feel good if they can finish it off, but you'd really like to taste a victory against a conference team before the end of the season, if at all possible. Only 4 games left, including tonight, I believe.
Yep.
If I am not mistaken, which I so frequently am.
That is correct. 4 games, including tonight.
And all the remaining 3 are all against conference teams.
Yep.
Hagman pressured by Smolich almost all the way back to midfield. Gives it across to Ryan Capon. He's got a little bit of room. Moves it up to Dylan Anderson. And now behind for Ethan Coleman. Coleman had the first goal of the game. 13 seconds into that first quarter. Loses the ball here. Scooped up by Capon. Capon trying to find room between some SLPCR defenders. Gets it to Levi Hagman. A good closing speed by Lamari Brown disrupts it. And he'll let somebody else take it from one end to the other this time. Blake Mellum, the long run. Toby Tranby down low, person in close, and Cubas another.
Wow. That was a heck of a save.
Point blank save.
Yep. Heck of a save. The young leg.
Ground ball pushed back and forth. Nobody able to gain control. And 2 teams that have struggled. Not surprising to see both have struggles with those 50-50 in ground balls. So much of this game depends on possession, and it starts with gaining possession when you have the opportunity. SLPCR able to force him into a backcourt violation.
Double dribble.
Pass was behind Herzog, but recovered by Tranby. Conkler in person working the left side. And certainly no need to rush if you're wearing white.
Nope.
Up 5 here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just let that clock run.
Conkler trying to regain possession. Pressured hard by Xavier Bonifacius.
He's all over the place.
That one just popped out of Longen's stick and right over his head. Cardinals, or Catbirds, SLPCR, right back on the attack. Person will back away.
Oh, a little too much on that one.
And that'll be a turnover.
Yeah. A little too much.
Well, and those are the kind of miscues that we saw from Forest Lake in that first half.
Yep, for sure.
After long possessions, they'd make a bad pass, and all of their hard work amounted to nothing. Long pass misses everybody, and they turn it right back over.
I was going to say another quick turnover.
Long pass ahead, well received by Conkler, but then chopped out of his stick by Longen. Rangers defense able to force the turnover. Longen on the run, trailed by a couple of defenders. His pass broken up by Mellum. Conkler tried to play that back to Skramstad right as Skramstad was kind of leaving the net. Hold your breath moment. Person. Give it up to Lamari Brown. Tranby will give it back to him. Sorry, that was Lewick. Tranby's down low. Tranby with it now. Back down low to Lewick. And now Lamari Brown can't find a seam. I'd like to see him score a goal.
Yeah.
With everything he's done here tonight.
Yeah, has an assist, but it would be nice to have a goal.
It's the first boys lacrosse match we've been witness to so far this season, maybe our only one of only two hosted here at the Cardinal Sports Complex. The rest of their home games played at SLP.
I believe their last home game here, we were covering softball.
You are correct. Brown down low. Herzog gets it across for Person. Nice hold. Tranby scores another.
Yeah, again, just a really nice pass. And Tranby, when he's there, it's pretty much automatic.
So just about midway through the second quarter or fourth quarter, and it is 11-5.
Yeah, a little more comfortable now. They've opened that lead to 6.
Another draw win for Johnson, and runs right in, shoots wide. Heads up play by Skramstad to get to that back line and make sure that they get the ball. Skramstad will be playing at the next level in Ithaca, New York next year.
Very cool.
We were talking to him for the preview, and he told me that. I said, how in the world do you catch the attention for a coach from Ithaca, New York?
Yeah. And he
said he was playing for a Minnesota kind of type team in a Minnesota traveling tournament. He was playing for Team Minnesota. They talked to him, exchanged some emails, and next thing you know, he said, sounds like an idea.
Very cool.
And that's always been my advice to any athlete or any extracurricular that you enjoy. Continue those things that you enjoy as long as you possibly can. And it's not like with lacrosse, there's a lot of men's or adult leagues that you can get into. Past a certain point, you have to hang them up. Same thing with football, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I'm fortunate enough. My passion is hockey, and there's a lot of adult hockey out there.
See, I'm fortunate as well. My passion's watching television. I can do a lot of that.
You're an all-star.
I am. I'm 3 years running.
Forest Lake able to set up on offense, and they need to show some urgency now, down by 6 if they hope to make a legitimate bid to come back. But again, SLPCR has done a nice job. Their rotations on defense have been good. I say that, and then Smith gets loose. What a save by Scramstead. But their switches have been good. They have stayed with their man. They have kept them on the outside for the most part. What a catch by Toby Tranby. Stick skills make a huge difference in this sport. No question. Lamari Brown sends it over right side. But when you can confidently catch passes and make passes, it opens up a world of different opportunities. Chance in close, denied again by Cubas. He'll take it on the run. He understands the urgency.
He does.
Pass didn't click, though. Boston Green trying to scoop. He got knocked to the turf. And that'll be a whistle and a free ball for SLPCR. 3:12 to go. Herzog trying to get through a couple of defenders and
he's scrappy. I like him.
Knocked off the ball. He's a hockey player.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
That's right.
David Anderson trying to find room against Josiah Robb, able to get around the corner. Scramstead a save. Tracks down the rebound himself. Little fake and then a run. And another fake. He'll just keep running. This time he'll send it in deep. Free ball scooped up by Herzog. And they will reset the offense. Boston Green trying to slash into the middle. Took a heavy hit. Coughed up the rock, and back the other way goes Forest Lake. And we got a timeout.
Yep. Yeah, a little time left for
2
Forest
minutes
Lake.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly, and a 6-goal lead for the Catbirds.
And I think pretty much exactly what Coach Taut was hoping for out of this last non-conference game of the year. Game that they have been in control of for the most part, start to finish.
They have.
They've done some nice things on defense.
They have.
They've scored double digits again.
And when I spoke to him today, and basically he was talking about how well their offense is playing, but how much they've been working on their defense. He said, we've set up the schedule for some of these games where we've got the opportunity to get in the win column, and they certainly have come through tonight.
And we talk about it, not a top tier team in Forest Lake,
Nope.
but still able to limit them on defense for the most part. That third quarter, Forest Lake got a little bit of momentum, got into a little bit of rhythm, and really it's their sophomore Austin Smith who scored 3 of their 5, and he scored all 3 of them in a row.
Yep. Well, he gave them a little bit of spark, but unfortunately, for them, they just they couldn't continue that. Because really, you talked about it earlier, they dominated that third quarter. But the Catbirds.
But again, we saw most of that third quarter when they had possession, could not turn those long possessions into quality scoring opportunities.
Yep.
I mean, the thing that they can hang their hat on most probably from tonight's contest is their dominance in the circle. They have won almost every draw.
They have.
And again, you go back to no sport save football is possession as important as it is in lacrosse. because once you have possession in lacrosse, you can really dictate the tempo. You can continue to generate opportunities as long as you maintain possession. And if you run your offense properly, you can do that. And, of course, in football, when you're on offense and you have possession, you're far more likely to score.
Yes, absolutely.
Oof. That cross up into the head of Herzog. That'll get the flag. And we'll have a penalty. And Branson Grams is not going to argue that one.
No.
He'll just head over to take a knee. 1:11 to go in the fourth quarter. Now, so PCR will have the extra body in the attacking zone. Boston Green will start with it for the home team. Up top, it's the two Bonifaciuses.
Yes.
They're cousins. Xavier and Xavier. Just pronounces the X a little bit more. Well, you know the Vancouver Canucks have three guys named Elias, and Elias Peterson.
Did not know this.
None of them are related.
Oh, Peterson's pretty common.
They are all Swedish, too, so it's even more common. Under 30 seconds to go, SLPCR showing no sense of urgency to try and add to it, to even try and shoot on this penalty, but maintain possession and guarantee that win. Shot bounced in by Bonifacius, saved by Cubas, and Cubas will sprint upfield. He's been another highlight for Forest Lake because, again, yeah, they're going to lose this one 11-6.
Yep.
But easily could have been 7, 8 more. Or 11-5. Yeah.
Yep.
But it easily could have been
Absolutely
7 or 8 more. I mean, he made some very top-level saves.
He did.
To keep it close, especially in that first half.
Yep.
But SLPCR built that lead with 8 unanswered from the first and into the second quarter. And they cruise to the win here, scoring their 4th win of the season.
Yeah, and that Forest Lake will drop to 1-9 on the season. They're still looking for that elusive 2nd win on the year. But, yeah, nice to get that 4th win for the Catbirds. And as you mentioned, the next 3 against conference opponents will be big for them.
Yeah, and we only have a little bit of spring left as well. We've got softball coming up a week from Friday, and then we're on to into the playoffs. And we will go as far as we will be allowed. Yes. But that is going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score, Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids 11, Forest Lake 5. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Mike Peterson and Neil Hennon, who did all the hard work, my partner, Howie Shapiro, and me, Joe Yund, saying goodnight.